Hello and welcome to the United States Breastfeeding Committee's website. This is a brief tutorial for community administrators on how to manage your community workspace. The first thing you'll need to do is log into your individual account. That individual account is directly linked to your community workspace, and that is how you have admin privileges to the space. So the first thing you'll need to do is log in, and then once you log in, you'll be brought to this internal homepage. From here, to navigate to your communities, you can select off of the short menu on the left-hand side of your screen. So the third option, the third red button down, called My Communities. So go ahead and click on that. Here we go. And this will bring you to a page of sections that you have access to. Go ahead and on the right-hand side of your screen, under My Communities, there's a lovely list of all the communities that you belong to, and go ahead and find that community workspace. For training purposes, I'm going to use the Kansas Breastfeeding Coalition Communities Workspace. So just a brief overview of the tools and features of the workspace. Each workspace has community forums, and these actually operate as listservs. I'll click in one just so you can see. Under the name of this workspace, or under the name of the forum name, is an email address. And so what that means is that these forums can be posted to by clicking on Add a Thread from the website directly, or you can use the email address here from whichever email server you use. So be it Gmail, Outlook, Yahoo. If you just copy and paste this email address into your address book for your email account, you'll be able to connect with everyone who's subscribed to the thread via your email instead of having to log into the website. All messages here are also archived within the workspace. So that's the forum. The file libraries is where folks can upload documents pertaining to certain projects. They can also upload any meeting materials as well. The other feature here is a roster. Each person that's added to the community workspace will be automatically added to the roster. So very quickly, the roster has a specific format. First, there's the name of the person, and then the group or organizational profile that each individual is connected to. So if you see here, we have the Kansas Breastfeeding Coalition, the United States Breastfeeding Committee, and Aspen. We also have, you'll be able to access the email address of each person that's a member of the workspace, as well as the profile to each individual. The other format, the other thing listed here on the roster is the Breastfeeding Coalition that each person is affiliated with. And this was intentional. So we do have member representatives that have to be tied to their organizational profile, the member organization that they are representing. But this also allows them to list their Breastfeeding Coalition affiliation. So Martha Hagan is a prime example here, as you can see. Okay, and then from here, we can go back to the community home. There's also a calendar and then some quick links. So you can add quick links to the space that you feel your the members of this community workspace might access frequently. You can see here the KBC website is linked. You can link anything that's external, or you can even link internal USBC website pages. So if you find that your members are very interested in looking at the Surgeon General's call to action directory to view other activities that are going being worked on around the country, then you might want to list that directory and link it here. So that's just the overview of the space. Now to get into a little bit of administrative tasks. One thing you might want to do is add meetings to the calendar for your members. So the best way to do that is to come to the menu on the left-hand side where you see these three dots. If you click on the three dots, just briefly, the white text is available to all members of the workspace. The red text is only available to community administrators. So to add a calendar item, you simply click on Add Calendar Item. It will default to the correct calendar, so we ask that you not add any calendars to the space unless you need it for other reasons. Please contact USBC office at usbreastfeeding.org to request that. But go ahead and click OK. And from here, basic information is needed, a title for the meeting. So we could name this KBC membership meeting. You can switch the time zone if needed. The time zone does default to the time zone you are in, the individual is in, but not to worry if you have other members who are across the country and in different time zones. As long as they have set their time zone within their profile, it will automatically show up, the time will automatically update in their time zone. So the next set is to make sure you put in the start time and end time. You'll want to put in any recurrences. So if this is a monthly meeting that happens on the second Wednesday of every month or every 2 months, you can go ahead and put that information in. And then you can put in any webcast links. So if you're using, for example, the GoToMeeting system, a dial-in number, access information, who the main contact is in case someone can't make it, you can put all of that information in here. And then once you're done, you click OK. Oh, looks like we are missing some information. Oh, recurrence. So we can set it to none, or we can set a recurrence. It's asking for a recurrence because I noted that there would be a monthly meeting and not none. So if I go ahead and just, I can go all the way out to 2020, it looks like, of February, and just click that date. We'll click OK. And the first thing that pops up once you click OK is asking if you would like to set up reminders for this calendar item. So the great thing about this is once you set up the reminders, you will not have to send out reminder emails manually. The system will automatically send an email to your members about the meeting with all of the information that you pasted into or that you added into the meeting invitation or calendar item. So if you accidentally click no, that's okay. You can come to these three dots here and click on reminders. So you'll see here there's no reminder set up for this meeting, but what we want to do is add a reminder. So this is the basic information that you can plug in. It automatically sets in the title, the start date and time, and the link directly to the calendar item. If you'd like folks to be able to click on the calendar item, you can. Otherwise, you can remove that. And if you click on substitution parameters, you can copy and paste any of these parameters into the body of the email, and the email will be automated. So you might want to put something like, dear, this is the Kansas Breastfeeding Coalition Community Workspace, so we'll say KBC members. This is a friendly reminder that our membership meeting is scheduled for, and we can put this parameter here, which is already here, but we could also grab it from down here. You want to make sure that you do grab the $ and the entire word without the colon. Scheduled for start, access information is below, and this would be the set reminder email each time you have a meeting for as far out as you as you requested. So here you could put in access information, copy and paste that webcast link in here, the phone number, and if there's a contact, of course you could put the contact name and email. Once you're done setting up the reminder, you could click OK. And then you'll need to set up, so you've set up the body of the email, you'll want to now schedule the reminder. So if you go to actions and times, because this meeting is supposed to be for today at 3:10 p.m., the only option we have is immediately. But if this meeting was for 3 weeks out, you could send a reminder email as early as 3 weeks out up until immediate 1 hour before the meeting. So you just want to select as many as you'd like, and then click OK. We won't do that so that folks don't get emails. You could also copy this reminder if needed for each meeting. But what we'll do is go ahead and delete this calendar item. Well, before we delete the calendar item, I'd love to take you back to view the calendar item and then click on the group. Will take you back to the community workspace. And you'll see here now on the calendar that this meeting is occurring, I believe, on the second Wednesday of every month, and now it's here. If you click View More, you can see it all the way out until February 12th of 2020. So what we can do now is go ahead and delete the calendar item from that space, and now it's gone. And now if we go back to, whoops, I'm sorry. We go back to the Kansas Breastfeeding Coalition community from here. So that's how you add a calendar item. The next thing I want to show you is managing community subscriptions. So as I mentioned, these two forums operate as listservs, and you can automatically subscribe members to a particular forum. So the announcement forum is typically for administrators to post to. The discussion forum is typically for anyone to post to. So what that means is the announcement forum, only administrators, community administrators, can post to these forums. This is where people typically post their meeting announcements or anything that is specific to members that they really don't need feedback on. Discussion is where folks can continue a conversation or have a conversation. And each person can manage their subscription to the forums. They can receive an immediate email. They can receive a summary digest at the end of the day if they'd like. And those features are explained on the individual profile, profile tutorial. So for the administrator, for the community administrator to decide on how each person is subscribed, you'll need to go to the 3 dots here, go to community administration, and then go to community content. And go to edit community subscriptions and favorites. So here you'll see there are 2 groups. There's a required group and an initial group. The required group means that as each person joins the community workspace, they'll immediately be added to the forum that you select. they will also not be able to remove themselves or unsubscribe from that forum. We suggest using this for announcement forums, since again these forums are used to they're used to announce things to membership that you don't want them to miss out on. The initial group subscription, folks would be initially subscribed to the forum. However, they'd have the option to remove themselves from the forum if they'd like. So to add a subscription to any of these groups, you want to select the category. And the category would be under coalitions, communities. And then you would select the coalition. Now, you may not have all of these options. Because I'm an administrator for the website, I do have multiple options, but this may look different for you. It may just include your coalition community's workspace. So, or any workspace that you have administrative privileges to. So for here, we'd want to just do Kansas Discuss. You might want to make that an immediate, or you might want to make Kansas Announce required. And then you'll want to just select the type of email they receive. So it could be an immediate email, an immediate digest, a summary digest, a full digest. There are tons of options here. So you can select what you'd like. Typically, it's an immediate email, especially for announcements. And then you'd click Add. Now, this can be changed. As you can see, there's a delete button here. So if you do decide to remove these types of subscriptions, you can just click the delete button. So if we go back to the profile, I just want to show you how to add documents. So I'm going to click on these three dots and click on Community Page. So to add or upload files is very easy. You can click on the file library that you'd like to upload documents to, and then click on Add a File. And there are just two things that are required here. A title, so it might be meeting minutes. We do suggest adding a date to the meeting minutes so that you can sort through them. And then for description, you could add the summary of the meeting, or you could simply just copy and paste the title. And then the section down here is automatically posted or automatically selected, but you can change the document type. So if this was meeting materials or agendas, you can select that. If it's multiple, feel free to click on other. And then you just upload your file by clicking Add. You can select the source type or file type. So it might be an audio file, a video file. You can upload media, just be cautious of the size limitation. And then you can select the type, you should be able to select the type of download that you would like members to have. It could be that they can download the original. They could download a PDF version. So if you have a PowerPoint and you select PDF, the website would convert it into a PDF file for you. It's not the best conversion, but it does work. And then if these files are just for viewing, then you'd click on View Only. And then once you're done with that section, you just click OK. So I'm gonna go back. I'm clicking cancel, and I'm going back to the Kansas Breastfeeding Coalition Community Workspace. So let's go back to here. And the last thing I want to show you is a little bit more complex, which is why I've saved it for last. This is how to add members to the workspace. So there are two methods of doing this. The first method would be to first add them to your coalition's group profile. Now, this may prove a little bit difficult, especially if you know that members have already created individual profiles or if they're linked to a member organization. But I will walk you through how to do both. So if I am the administrator for the Kansas Breastfeeding Coalition community, hopefully I do have rights to administrative rights to the group profile. So what I would need to do is I'm going to go ahead and open up a new tab here and just go back to the website homepage. And I would go to my options, my profile, and then click on my group. I'm not connected to the Kansas Breastfeeding Coalition, so I'm going to actually just do a group search for Kansas. And here they are. Here's their group profile and their community here, but I'm clicking on their group profile. And I'm going to click on members. So from here, if you're adding folks to the group or organizational profile, you'll want to click on members. And then we see here there's just one member here. And then to add someone to the group profile, you'll just need 3 pieces of information: their email address, their first and their last name. So I'm going to actually practice this first using myself. So if I was adding myself to this space, I would put in my email address. Oops. And then I would click OK. So this is the message you would receive if someone that you were adding already had a workspace. Or not a workspace, I apologize, but an individual profile. And this says that it's an invalid operation because this email address already has an account. And so what you could do is actually click on Edit to see which profile I was added to. And so you would just note maybe on a sheet of paper, or you could just add me directly at that moment that I'm tied to the United States Breastfeeding Committee's workspace. So if I wanted to add myself right now to the workspace, I would come over to the workspace and click on the 3 dots, click on View Members, and then I would need to select the organization from the drop-down and go to United States Breastfeeding Committee. And there I would add myself. And then click Add, and there I would appear. If there were multiple people we needed to add, then we could go ahead and just do Control-Alt and click Add User, and they'd all appear. I won't do that. So, I'll just add one person, though. For the simple purpose of showing you how to remove someone. If you accidentally add someone to the workspace, that's okay. You can go ahead, go to Actions, and then Delete. And then they'd be removed. If you wanted to add admin privileges to another member of the workspace, you could go to Actions and then do Add Admin Privileges. If you've accidentally given someone admin privileges, you go to Actions and remove admin privileges. Okay, so if we go back to the Kansas Breastfeeding Coalition's group profile and we go back to members, and let's add someone. We could add, if we added someone who did not have a profile, then they would successfully be added, and then they would appear at the end here. Once you're done adding members or taking note of which profile they are tied to, you can come back to the workspace as I just noted, and then you'd go to the Kansas Breastfeeding Coalition, and then there'd be a lovely list of all of the members that you just added to the group profile. And you do the same process of selecting those members and then clicking Add User. If they're tied to a member organization, then again, you need to find the member organization listed here and then add them. The other profile they could possibly be added to is the individual user group. And this user group is what each individual is tied to if they have come into the website on their own and created their own profile without an administrator adding them to a specific group profile. So what you would need to do is just find them by last name and then select them and then click add user and they'd be added to the space. So that's the tutorial on how to manage the workspace. If there are any questions at all, please feel free to reach out at coalitions@usbreastfeeding.org. Thanks so much. Have a great day.